What separates real scientific knowledge from belief or opinion? It begins with the research article, a cornerstone of science, yet often misunderstood outside academic circles. A research article, sometimes called a scientific paper or original research paper, is much more than an essay or a chapter in a textbook. It's the formal way scientists communicate new discoveries based on their own investigation. Rather than summarizing what's already known, it's focused on answering one precise question, using real data, evidence, and analysis. This isn't a review, an opinion piece, or a blog post. It's the direct record of an experiment, with every detail explained so that another scientist could evaluate the findings, or even repeat the study to confirm the results. This transparency is what makes scientific knowledge reliable, drawing the sharpest line between evidence and belief. Where does all this reliable information live? In scientific journals, publications like PLOS One, Veterinary Parasitology, Journal of Helminthology, and thousands more. These journals act as permanent platforms for scientists to share their work with the world. But what guarantees quality? Every submitted research article faces peer review. Before publication, experts in the same field, known as peers, scrutinize the work, looking for errors, weaknesses, or gaps. Only after rigorous evaluation does an article earn its place in scientific literature. Peer review serves as science's essential quality filter. When you reference a peer-reviewed research article, you're tapping into knowledge reviewed, validated, and strengthened by experts. That's the power behind a research article. It's not just information, it's evidence you can trust. When you pick up a scientific article, do you ever wonder what holds the whole piece together? Every research article is built on a structure so universal, scientists gave it a name: IMRaD. That stands for Introduction, Methods, Results, and Discussion. This simple model is the backbone of every serious scientific paper. Before the IMRaD sections, every article features a clear title, a succinct abstract, and keywords, plus the all-important references at the end. Each part plays a role in how science is communicated and understood. Let's start with the title. This one line does more heavy lifting than you might expect. A great title is specific, informative, and no longer than 15 words. In just a glance, it should reveal the main topic, the organism or process studied, the method used, or even the key finding. Compare these titles. A study on liver fluke in cattle doesn't say much. Prevalence and molecular characterization of Facela hepatica in dairy cattle in Punjab, Pakistan tells you exactly what was done, where, and how. That specificity invites the right readers in, while vague titles shut doors. Next comes the abstract. Think of it as the elevator pitch for the entire paper. In only 200 to 300 words, it must outline the background and objective, the methods, primary results, and the conclusion. It must be complete but concise. Readers use abstracts to decide if the full article is worth their time, so clarity and balance are essential. Keywords matter more than you might realize. These 5 to 8 search terms help your article show up in major databases like PubMed or Google Scholar. Choose words that are specific and common in your field, not too broad or obscure. Good keywords increase visibility and ensure your work reaches the right audience. Understanding the structure of a research article isn't just tradition, it's the key to writing, reading, and evaluating science efficiently. When you master IMRaD and its supporting components, you move from confusion to clarity and from uncertainty to confidence. That's how good science speaks to the world.
Scientific research isn't just about discovery. It's about sharing those discoveries with clarity and precision. Yet, for many researchers, writing a paper feels daunting, with unanswered questions about structure, expectations, and academic standards. These worries can undermine confidence and stall progress. This guide is designed to bridge that gap, empowering you to craft rigorous, impactful scientific manuscripts. The aim of this study was to lay out a clear, step-by-step roadmap for structuring each section, ensuring your research is communicated effectively and professionally. Begin with your introduction. Think of it as a funnel. Start broad, address why your topic matters, then focus on the knowledge gap. Build towards your objective, and clearly state, the aim of this study was to. This sets the stage for your reader, showing what your work is designed to achieve. Next, describe your materials and methods. This is your recipe. Explain your study design, population, and sample size. Define your sampling strategy, laboratory methods, and statistical analyses. Reference protocols and kits in detail, using past tense. If you used PCR, name the primus. If you applied ELISA, state the kit. If you analyze data in R, mention the software. Avoid vague statements and be exact, so any scientist could replicate your work. Then, move to results. Present your findings objectively, no interpretation yet. Use tables for comparisons, figures to show trends, and text to guide attention to key outcomes. Reference all data visualizations directly in the narrative. Let your results speak, written clearly in past tense. Transition to the discussion. Here, interpret what your results mean. Compare them to previous studies, and address any unexpected findings. Acknowledge your study's limitations honestly. State the broader implications. How does your work impact science, policy, or practice? Conclude with a succinct summary and recommendations, without repeating data. For references, cite every claim not originating from your own results. Use tools such as Mendeley, Zotero, or EndNote for accuracy and consistency. By breaking down your manuscript section by section, you can present your work with confidence and rigor. This structured approach reduces uncertainty, ensuring your findings contribute meaningfully to scientific knowledge.
Writing a research article can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing it for the first time. But with a focused professional approach, you can transform the process into a series of clear, manageable steps. Step 1. Choose your target journal before you start writing. Many beginners make the mistake of finishing their article, then scrambling to find a place to submit. Instead, identify 2 or 3 journals that fit your topic, match the scope and significance of your work, and meet any open access requirements. Read each journal's guide for authors carefully, and be sure your intended submission aligns perfectly. Next, step 2. Define your core message. What is the central finding or argument your paper will make? Can you express it in a single sentence? Anchoring your paper with a clear message streamlines your writing and strengthens your impact. Step 3. Write your article out of order, the professional's trick. Begin with the methods while the details are fresh. Then lay out your results, building tables and figures as you go. With your findings clear, write the introduction to create context. Move on to the discussion to interpret and compare your results. Draft the abstract to summarize everything at the end. Only finalize your title once the article is complete. Step 4. Draft quickly without editing. Resist the urge to write perfectly on the first go. Write fast and rough. Accept mistakes and messy paragraphs. The priority is to capture your ideas. A flawed full draft is much more valuable than a polished opening with no conclusion. Step 5. Use clear, simple scientific language. Prioritize clarity over complexity. 1 idea per sentence, 1 message per paragraph. If your words communicate your science simply, you're doing it right. Step 6. Revise, revise, revise. Put your rough draft aside for a day or 2. When you return, review logic and flow, check grammar and spelling, verify data and citations, and ensure you comply with the journal's formatting requirements. Finally, step 7. Submit your paper and prepare to respond to peer review. Address the feedback thoughtfully, strengthening your paper with every revision. Remember, successful submission is never the end. It's the beginning of your professional engagement with the scientific community. Writing a research article demands discipline and clarity, but following these steps will empower you to approach it with confidence. Each revision refines your message, and your effort brings your findings into the world. Stay focused, stay professional, and trust yourself. You are ready for the challenge.
It's surprisingly easy to fall into common traps when you're preparing your first scientific manuscript. Some mistakes are so frequent, they've become almost universal. Let's shine a light on them so you can navigate around them with confidence. Plagiarism is a serious issue. Always express ideas in your own words, whether summarizing literature or describing your study. Journals routinely check every submission for copied text using tools like Authenticate or Turnitin. If you're unsure, use a plagiarism checker before submitting. Academic integrity is non-negotiable. Next, be crystal clear in your methods. If a fellow researcher can't repeat what you did based on your description, your paper risks rejection. Detail every step, material, and analysis. Imagine explaining your approach to someone new. Leave nothing vague. Be careful not to overstate your findings in the discussion. The evidence you present should support your conclusions, but no further. Let the data speak, and avoid claims that don't stand on solid ground. Never ignore the guide for authors provided by your target journal. It includes critical requirements, from format to word count and documentation. Review it carefully, and double-check that your manuscript aligns with every point. Submitting to the wrong journal is another costly mistake. Make sure your research fits the audience and scope. For example, a livestock nutrition study sent to a surgery journal will be desk rejected immediately. Choose journals thoughtfully to maximize your chances for publication. Finally, be honest about your study's limitations. Every project has them, and reviewers expect you to address them openly. Acknowledging limitations does not weaken your research. It demonstrates rigor and transparency. So, let's recap the essentials you've just learned. A research article formally shares new scientific knowledge. It follows the IMRaD structure: introduction, methods, results, and discussion. Start by choosing your journal and writing your methods section first. Save your abstract for last. Writing gets easier with experience. Your first paper might feel daunting. Your fifth will feel like second nature. And always remember, every published scientist started just as you are now, with a question, some data, and a blank page. You know the steps. Now just start writing. If this guidance helped, consider liking, sharing, or subscribing. It helps us reach more researchers who need support. Got a question? Leave it in the comments. I read every one. Want a video on responding to peer reviewers or picking the right journal? Tell me below. Until next time, keep learning, keep publishing, and keep making science count.